Exfoliating when using tretinoin, or any form of topical vitamin A for that matter, whether it be tazarotene, adapalene, trifarotene, your cosmetic retinol or retinaldehyde. People want to know, do we even need to exfoliate when we're using one of these forms of active topical vitamin A? What's a good exfoliant? When's the best time to begin to entertain the idea of introducing one? How often is it safe to exfoliate? We're going to address all of these questions in today's video. Revisiting skin anatomy, you have the dermis, which is the deeper part of your skin, where you have the fibroblasts that make collagen and elastin, and with age, the production of collagen starts to decline, plus a lot of that is damaged by cumulative sun exposure. That's what leads to the formation of wrinkles. That's the site of action of wrinkles. The top part of your skin, the epidermis, is comprised of cells called keratinocytes. They migrate up to the top, and as they migrate up to the top, what you can see and touch, they're maturing and acquiring new and unique properties. Once they get to the very top, they're no longer a living cell, but rather a dead ghost of their former selves enmeshed in this lipid matrix. That is your outermost protective layer, the stratum corneum. Now, we already know that with age, we lose collagen, we lose elastin, we get wrinkles, but the epidermis undergoes some changes that tretinoin can address. With age, the epidermis thins, it atrophies. The top outermost protective layer, it starts to look a little wonky, like shredded wheat. The cells that comprise the epidermis, they don't mature as efficiently as normally. They kind of slow down, and all of these changes together, the thinning of the epidermis, the buildup of that kind of shredded wheat, flaky stuff on the top layer of the skin, that is what leads to the appearance of dry, dull, rough skin texture. As you use a form of active topical vitamin A, not only is it working in the deeper layers of the skin to stimulate collagen production from the fibroblasts down there and improve wrinkle appearance, it's working on the epidermis. Over time, you can appreciate changes at the microscopic level to the epidermis that lend to skin benefits that you see with your eyes. Specifically, you get an improvement of the maturation of those keratinocytes through the epidermis, starts to mature at a more reasonable rate. Many of those abnormal keratinocytes, those damaged cells, go away. They're replaced with new healthy cells, and the top outermost protective layer really looks a lot different. Instead of being all loose and wonky, it compacts, it gets tight and smooth. That's why with consistent use of a form of topical vitamin A, you get smoother, more even skin. For many people, using an active form of topical vitamin A, these changes that we just described to the epidermis, they're sufficient. They don't actually need to use an exfoliant. Topical vitamin A actives, tretinoin, etc., it doesn't work in the same way that a chemical exfoliant would work. Chemical exfoliants like glycolic, lactic, mandelic, salicylic acid, polyhydroxy acids, they help to dissolve the glue between those dull, dry, stuck together skin cells, and they also help to improve water content in skin's outermost layer depending on the active ingredient. Like I said, for a lot of people, those things become unnecessary. You don't have that buildup of dry, rough skin texture. However, some people still benefit from incorporating a chemical exfoliant into their routine. For example, someone with acne might benefit from adding salicylic acid alongside the topical vitamin A. Salicylic acid's great for acne, blackheads, whiteheads, because it really localizes in the pore to actively exfoliate them. People with hyperpigmentation might benefit from adding a alpha hydroxy acid to help lift up some of the hyperpigmentation. And also, if you have dry, rough skin texture, you may find that using either an alpha hydroxy acid or the gentler polyhydroxy acids, not only can that help with dull skin texture that may be remaining, but also help to actively hydrate the skin. People who deal with dry, dull, rough skin texture, even keratosis pilaris, might also benefit from incorporating an alpha hydroxy acid and or a polyhydroxy acid to help with that buildup of dry, rough skin, in addition to what the topical vitamin A is doing in terms of the maturation process. But also, these ingredients help improve water content in the skin, especially polyhydroxy acids, a family of exfoliating acids that really are super gentle and also very hydrating. Now, I have videos that go into more detail with regards to these different types of acids. Whether or not these ingredients are right for you is difficult for anyone to predict on the internet. Your treating dermatologist can best advise you on whether or not introducing one of these is going to be helpful or take you several steps back. Might be that it's too irritating, especially if you're someone who has hyperpigmentation. Always keep in mind that anything you use that is too irritating can actually worsen the hyperpigmentation. We want to avoid that. Some people will experience too much dryness, too much redness, too much irritation if they introduce one of these ingredients. Everyone's skin is unique in terms of what it needs and how it responds to things. When is it safe to introduce or reintroduce one of these active exfoliating ingredients into your routine once you've already started a topical vitamin A? As you guys know, with topical vitamin A actives like tretinoin, etc., well, when you first start them, the process can be very irritating, especially if you have a lot of background sun damage. It causes a lot of dryness, peeling, and irritation. After about 4 to 6 weeks, that should subside and things should start calming down. However, for some people, it goes on for a little bit longer. I would suggest waiting until that has completely subsided and you are comfortably using your form of topical vitamin A with no dryness, no peeling, no irritation. You don't have heightened sensitivity. You don't have that stinging, irritating sensation. That's going to be different for every person. How often can you exfoliate safely if you are already using a form of topical vitamin A, provided you tolerate the exfoliant? It'll depend on the product. Chemical exfoliants, they come in all shapes and sizes. There's really no good way to predict how intense a given product is going to be. Your best bet when it comes to these is to, at the very least, don't use the product any more than instructed in the instructions. Every product, you'll notice, has a little bit of a different recommendation. Some products don't tell you how frequently you can use them. You kind of have to test it out yourself. I'm going to be recommending some very gentle exfoliants that you might consider when dipping your toes into using one of these ingredients alongside your topical vitamin A. It also will be influenced by your skin type and what your skin tolerates. When in your routine should you use these? That also kind of depends on the product and your skin. Some of these ingredients can simply be too irritating if used alongside your topical retinoid, like if they're applied at the same time. It will often be suggested, although it's not a hard and fast rule, that you use your topical vitamin A at night and you use one of these in the morning. That being said, many people are able to use both ingredients together at the same time in their nighttime routine. For example, topical tretinoin, the prescription, you'll notice in the package insert, it cautions against using it with like alpha hydroxy acids, for example, because that combination can often be irritating, especially when you're starting it for the first time. It's one of those things where you kind of have to dip your toes into the waters and see what your skin tolerates and back off when things start to get too dry, too irritated, too inflamed. Some signs that you should back off of the exfoliant, maybe you don't even need it if you've tried introducing it, are that the skin becomes dry and increasingly sensitive, raw, red, maybe you're even developing or worsening breakouts. For example, a chemical exfoliating product that I often like to recommend, and I think is one you might consider in this instance, is the mandelic acid 5% skin prep water from Wishtrend. This is an alpha hydroxy acid liquid exfoliant. It's got mandelic acid, which is an alpha hydroxy acid. Of all of the alpha hydroxy acids, it's one of the gentlest. It's gentle, it's hydrating, it's generally well tolerated, although of course there are exceptions. It might be too much for you, but it's a very gentle exfoliant. Good for improving skin texture, smoothness. This formula also has licorice root, which is anti-inflammatory, good for the skin barrier, along with panthenol, a B vitamin that's very moisturizing, and sodium hyaluronate, a humectant that can help improve water retention. So this might be one that you might want to try if you're someone who's still dealing with dry, rough, dull skin texture. It's very gentle. Now this is a liquid. To use it, you apply it to the face after cleansing. You don't need very much. The way I like to apply liquids like this is to put the product into the palm of my hand and take the finger of my opposite hand, dip it into the product, and spread that product in a thin, even film to my face, sparing around the eyes, the corners of the mouth, the corners of your nose, where exfoliants can be too irritating. This is great for dull, rough, uneven appearing skin and may help in improving certain dark spots, especially when used in conjunction with a topical vitamin A. How often you use this depends on you, your skin type. Let's talk salicylic acid. This is Cetaphil's Gentle Exfoliating SA Lotion. I just finished a large bottle of this. It is a lotion that has salicylic acid. It is meant to be used on the body, but also has been tested and recommended for use on the face. And that's how I personally have been using it, along with my tretinoin. I just finished a large bottle, like I said. So in addition to salicylic acid, which helps to exfoliate pores, reducing blackhead and whitehead formation, salicylic acid is also good for hyperpigmentation. And this has gluconolactone, a polyhydroxy acid that gently exfoliates and helps with hydration. This is in a shea butter base, so it's very moisturizing moisturizing, super gentle, and having used this myself, it really does help with smoothing out the skin and leaving it feeling hydrated, plump, and firm. If you find, oh my gosh, I'm not really able to tolerate this right now on my face, the exfoliant, guess what? You have a great body lotion for dry, dull, rough skin. Use it on your elbows, use it on your knees. It can really help rejuvenate the appearance of dry, rough skin in those areas. If you've got keratosis pilaris, this is a great option. Then we have a product that I discovered this year. It's by Beekman 1802. And I'll tell you why I like this so much. It's a glycolic lactobionic lactic acid mambo combo. This is an exfoliant that you could use as a mask. And the reason I like this is because it's a product you can experiment with short contact therapy. Short contact therapy is just what it sounds like. You apply the ingredient to the skin for a limited time. With this product in particular, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. And then you rinse it off. Short contact therapy is an approach that is great for people who have sensitive skin, who are looking to incorporate ingredients that are known to be a little more likely to cause irritation, such as glycolic acid, lactic acid. Because get the ingredient on there for a limited window of time, it reduces the irritation that you might experience. Not only can you play around with the duration of contact, this product specifically recommends anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. You also can play around with how often you use this. This is a product that you should only use 2 to 3 times a week. It's really nice if you have sensitive skin or you're going through a situation where you have increased sensitivity. Maybe it's winter or your skin's dry, it's a lot more sensitive. It's easy to say, I'm gonna keep using the product, but instead of leaving it on for 20 minutes, I'm gonna go down to 5. Instead of using it 3 nights a week, I'm just gonna do 2 nights a week. And so you can tweak around with it. You don't need very much, just like 1.5 pumps to create a very thin film on the surface of the skin, and then you rinse it off. If you want a kind of a guide as to how long to leave it on, like you're not quite sure, gauge by that tingling sensation. This may tingle a little bit, so you might start feeling that the longer it's been on, and that's kind of a good gauge that maybe you should rinse it off. So I really like that product for smoothing the skin surface, improving moisture retention, brightening up dull, rough appearing skin texture, and I like the fact that you're gonna rinse it off. So overall, it really allows you to manipulate more parameters in your skincare routine, so it's a lot more accommodating to the dynamic nature of your skin needs. All of these are free of fragrance. Always want to be protecting your skin from the sun. It's even more important when you're using exfoliating acids, especially alpha hydroxy acids, which can make you a little bit more likely to burn, but you should be protecting your skin from the sun regardless. Just wanted to put that PSA in there as a reminder. But if you have been using topical vitamin A for just general anti-aging purposes, wrinkles, age spots, rough, dull skin texture, you've been using it for a while now and you really feel like it's working, you're happy with the results, don't feel as though you need to add anything per se. You might want to try it out. You may be someone who likes to experiment, and in which case I hope the tips that I gave in this video are helpful, useful to you. But I think the cosmetic industry has just made sort of a blanket statement in the marketing that you need to exfoliate, especially like once you hit a certain age, you need an exfoliant. That's not necessarily true. Some people will become too dry and irritated from incorporating exfoliants, or maybe they incorporate them too frequently and they end up drying out their skin. People who are prone to hyperpigmentation, while they might benefit from a chemical exfoliant, it also could be too much for their skin and worsen hyperpigmentation. So not everyone's skin needs are the same, and to just make the blanket statement that you need to exfoliate. Anyways, guys, like I said, I hope this video was helpful to you all. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.